Hello and welcome to Learn Data. It's great to have you on this channel. I'm Nilesh and in this video we'll continue learning about pandas and GroupBy. Specifically, we'll look at how to enumerate groups with GroupBy, then how we can use GroupBy to plot data. And then we'll also look at how to use the pipe methods to uh, apply functions to data set using GroupBy. So let's get into Jupyter Notebook and start coding. Here I've already created a new notebook and imported two libraries, NumPy and Pandas, and we have this data set which is the same data frame from previous video, which is the fruits data frame. Now to enumerate groups, let's say enumerate groups. So there are two ways we are going to look at. The first one is where we are going to take a cumulative count of number of occurrences of items within a group. So the data frame we have is this. Now if we want to count and assign those numbers to each of the rows, for example, this mango is occurring, cumulative count would be 0, then this would be 1, and then this would be number 2. So 0, 1, 2. Similarly for orange, this would be 0, 1, 2. So that can be done using cumulative count. So to do that, we would specify df and we'll use just one column, fruits in this case, dot group by. So what this does is, if we use let me show you this. So if you look at the type and if you specify just one square bracket and type fruits in it, you get a series back. However, if you put two square brackets in there, you get what you're getting is a data frame. So we are working with a data frame when we put two square brackets here. So df fruits and then dot group by, and within parentheses here in square brackets we are going to specify the name of the column fruits, and then finally we have cumulative count. And when we run this, we see that for the fruit group mango, we have 0, 1. So this is 0, 1, and then we have 2 at index 5. So 0, 1, and we have 2 at index 5. So that's one way to kind of assign numeric values to a given group in the data frame. Here we can also change the ordering. So let's go back here and I'm going to copy this entire line, put it here, and within cumcount, if we specify ascending is equal to false, what that does is it reverses the order. So in the previous case we had these numbers going in the ascending order. Now they are not in ascending order, so they are descending order. So for mango we would have to start here. So 5 would be 0, and then 1 and 2. So 5 now is 0, then we have 1 and 2 for the first two. So that's how the cumulative count works. Now apart from that, we can use something called as ngroup. So let's try to use that, ngroup. So that's basically group number we are going to assign. So this is the data frame again, and here we can specify df fruits and dot group by, and if we have the fruits for group by, then we can specify ngroup here, and when we run this, what this has done is it has given a numeric value to the groups within the fruit column. So the mango is assigned value of number 1, orange is assigned value of number 2, banana is assigned value of number 0, and I'm thinking this is going in alphabetical order. So B is the first one to appear in alphabetical order, therefore it has value 0. After that we have M, then O, so 0, 1 and 2. So that's what we get here. So thus we are able to convert the text which is strings to numbers. Now, similar to the cumulative counts that we have seen earlier, we can specify ascending is equal to false here as well. Ascending is equal to false, and then the ordering is now switched. So the group B with banana has now the number assigned, which is 2, whereas the mango or the orange, which is the last one, now has 0 assigned to it, because we have specified ascending is equal to false. Moving on, let's look at how we can create plots using GroupBy. And for this we need to import the library Matplotlib. I'm going to do that now. So plot, and here we'll import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. Now we can use again the same data frame, so df, and instead of using all the columns, we'll just use couple so that we can see what's in the plots. Fruits, that's because we need the groups, and then we'll try to print or plot the price and quantity for each of those groups. And the method is same. We apply dot GroupBy, and here we'll specify the column that has the groups. In this case it's the fruits column, and for plotting we'll use the boxplot. When we run this, here we see that we see 3 plots, but they are mixed up. So let's clear that by specifying plt.type_layout, and that should clear that up. Okay, so now we see the plots created for each of the groups. So there is separate plot for each group. We have banana, mango and orange, and within each of those plots we have price and quantity related to only that group. So this is one very easy way to visualize the data set for each of the groups, so you can get an idea of how the distribution is, or how are there outliers in them, or how all the groups compare with each other. So that's the takeaway message from these plots. Moving on, now let's look at how to use the pipe method. So pipe, before we use our fruits data frame, I just want to show you how pipe works. What basically it does is, let's say you have this data frame. This data frame gets fed into pipe, which feeds that into a function, and the output of that can be then fed back into another function using pipe, and so on and so forth. So that's one easy way to kind of chain a sequence of operations. Let's say, for example, if we have a series A, which is, let's say, pd.series, and it has 1 2 3 4 5. Now if we go ahead and create 2 functions, so df_sq_x, and this is going to return the square value, and let's create another function which is multiplication multi, and what this is going to return is the value is multiplied by 1000. Okay, so here the way you could use pipe is by typing a.pipe, what this does, and then specifying just the name of the function. What this does is the pipe takes the series A and supplies it to the function sq, where it is read as x, and computes the value x square, which is returned, and then that value can again be piped into another function such as multi, and what that does is the output up to here is fed into this function multi, where it is multiplied by 1000 and returned. So I'm going to split this into two parts so that it is clear. When we run this, we get that, and even before that, why don't we just run a? So that's the a, then this is the squared a, and then this is the square multiplied by 1000. Okay, so that's how the piping works. Now if we look at our data frame, which is this one, we can apply pipe to this as well. So to do that, we can type df dot GroupBy, and we'll use the fruits and the grade columns in this case to do the grouping, and then we'll do the pipe, and here we can specify a function. So we'll specify a lambda function, and that takes the group. So we can specify group or we can specify x, and it doesn't matter what variable we use there. I'm going to use x. So x and price dot sum. So we are getting the sum of the prices and then multiplying that with the sum of quantity. So in a way we are think of it like getting the revenue out of it. So when we run this, we get an output which is which shows us the fruits, then the grades, and maybe the total revenue generated from each of those grades of fruits. This appearance of this particular output can also be changed. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to specify this as a GroupBy grouped object and then run pipe on the grouped object to get the output, which is this. Now we can go ahead and unstack it. What unstacking will do is we can move the index, that's row index, to column. So when we specify unstack, what this does is it moved this level 1 index, which is grade, as column names. So we now have a output which is much easier to read, where we can see that banana for revenue A generated 160 revenue. The lowest was for orange for grade B. So that's one example of pipe. There is another example we can look at while using pipe, where we can use a custom function that can be supplied. Here we use dot sum in lambda, which is already a pre-made function, but now we can create a new one. So df revenue, and here let's use g as an input to that function. Now revenue, let's use r for that, and g price. So we are getting the price column, again same calculation we are performing here, dot sum and multiplied by g quantity, and again this is dot sum. Now we'll return r. So that's the function. Here we can now go ahead and use this grouped object we created. So this was on just fruits and grade. We'll use more of those now. So df, so g is equal to df, and we'll use fruits, we'll use the grade, we have the price, and with the quantity. So dot group by, and we are going to go ahead and group on fruits and grade. So we are just using two of these because the other two are numeric columns. So that's the grouped object we have created. Now we can use the pipe. So g.pipe and all we need to do is specify the revenue. So what the pipe will do is it will take this grouped object and supply that as an input to the revenue, and then within revenue it will get read and will execute this code to calculate R, which would then be returned. So when we run this, we get again this output. If we use unstack, we can see that we get the same output as before, except that now we have used a separate custom function which was used to calculate the revenue. I hope in this video you learn how to use custom functions along with GroupBy, and then how to use pipe, how to enumerate groups within a data set by either taking a cumulative count or using ngroups, assigning numbers to each of those groups. In next video, we'll continue this discussion on groups, and if you have any comments, please let me know in the comment section below. Please like, share, and click the bell icon below to subscribe. I hope to see you all in the next video. Thank you.